I'm thrilled. Um, Today's topic is going to be MS symptoms. Uh, Forgive for starting this an hour late, but I was just at the doctor's. I got to go back there. They x-rayed my hand because on Friday I fell. And a number of you know uh, that today I went back. I went to the doctor for the first time and had it x-rayed, and sure enough, I broke my hand. So I've got to go back. I said, you know what? You can't make me a brace right now. I can't. So I'm going to go back after we do this uh, um, MS Live there. So I see that people are starting to come on board there. Welcome. Again, it is official. Broke my hand and all, and it's at the base here. Not Summer Lady. All right, now it's important that you guys know I'm hosting, and I'm gonna talk more about people who are here. Summer Lady, I did. In fact, I've got my list on what your names are, and please forgive me, I don't have it with me because I rushed from my car back from the doctor's and to come in to do this there. Uh, what I want to tell you is that, hi, Karen. Um, you know what? Thank you. All right, Summer Lady, I did researched that tau. It's a type of electronic stimulus, and it's also what is it? Acupressure combined there, and it's supposed to. A lot of people with MS have talked about how wonderful it is, and but the problem is that there is no credible proof right now. So I have yet to check Amazon. Amazon is where you find people who really you can read the evaluations of different medications or different not medications, different things that aids we can use to help us uh, uh, do better. Like the socks, we were talking about socks the other day, and today now we're talking about this towel. What is that called again? Tau, TAU. It's a product you can get, and I think it's pretty expensive though. But it's early on. Also, I need to talk to you a little bit about, because somebody sent me an email saying that, and they misunderstood what I said. Towel patch, that's what it is. They how you doing, Calvin? They made the mistake. They heard that I said that HSCT is not for progressive MS, and I never said that. I said if you have progressive MS with lots of damage and you've had it over 10 years, the doctors may not find you a candidate. Now, remember the disclaimer that I tell you, I am not a doctor. So don't take anything I say as gospel. Jane, hi, Jane. Jane is supporting us there, and I'll let you know, please forgive me for not being here at 11 o'clock, 11 to 12. We're doing 12 to 1 today. I have to go back to the orthopedist and get a brace made because they decided that the broken bone is not serious enough to operate there. And that, you see how that hand bends in there? That's because I was holding on to the walker and I fell, and my hand stayed with the walker and the rest of me went down. So this brings us to a very important comment that I'm going to have you. Everybody needs a sports medicine doctor, a general sports medicine doctor on auto call there. So, my sports medicine doctor, Sean Curtin at MedStar in Maryland here in Bel Air, I just wrote him a thank you card because he has come through for me. It's amazing how rude secretaries can be, and yet when they say, oh, we can't get you until next Monday, it's like, all right, put me in Monday. I'll go to urgent care, get an x-ray. By the way, can you talk to Dr. Curtin there and tell him I know him through the gym there, and I'll tell you what, everybody needs it's like a general practitioner sports medicine doctor. When you have MS and you get dizzy or you fall there, I broke my leg, I broke my rib, and I broke my hand. This is all in the past year and a half there. And so if you have that, and the funny thing is that we have had MS. Jane is wonderful, wonderful. She says we all need bubble wrap, and it's true. I certainly need bubble wrap, but this is how tough we are with MS. Is that if we break something, we're least likely to go to the doctor. In fact, yesterday I only went today only because I laid. I'm going to show you pictures eventually. I laid my bricks on the back patio so I can walk down to my my garden patch there. So that was laying bricks and using the type of hammer with sand in it. It's like a dead blow hammer there. It hurt my hand so much that I woke up 3 times with hand pain, and that's taking so. So enough of me. Anyway, I did break my hand. I have to go back for a splint, not a cast, which is good because I didn't want to go to the doctor because I wanted to keep swimming there, and it's going to happen. So let's talk a little bit about MS symptoms. I see we've got our usuals in this support group there. Karen, Summer Lady, what's your name again? Are you Jennifer? Are you? I think you Jennifer, and Chris and Ronnie. Now here's something on Facebook. If you're watching this through Facebook, if you go to Dulci Hill on YouTube and you subscribe to my channel, it will you'll get an email right before or right when I'm going live. When this is live, when MS Live is live there, and then you can chat there. Chris, God bless you, Chris. Chris is on Facebook, and she is typing. She's commenting about glad that my hand wasn't worse there, and it's funny because I feel hard there. You know what? Calvin R. I've got to come up with the second name because there's 2 people. Mr. Adat is Calvin there, and then Quebec is. I've been worrying about this day when you both show up at the same time because now I got to call you both Calvin. Even though I let me know if I can use your real name because I have it memorized there. Let's see. Thank you, Chris. Again, Chris, jump over to YouTube and do the chat there on that. Remember, and let's talk a little bit about symptoms there. What symptom is everyone dealing with today? Mine specifically this past week has been past month has been dizziness, which is why as soon as this is done, I get to go over and get the cast made for my broken hand. Not a cast, it's a brace there. Hi, Aunt Andrea. My aunt is watching. she's my godmother, and it's just wonderful to be able to share DNA with somebody who is saved, who has God in their heart, and it's awesome. And this is what this forum is about. It's not my forum; it's your forum. It's if you have MS there, talk about the symptoms and what you do with that. Weakness. Calvin is talking about heavy legs and weakness there. And I got an email this week about somebody who was panicked about weak legs. This person emailed me and said, "Please help." All right, and definitely jump on both sides. Type in what you do for heavy legs. I have a constant suggestion I use for heavy legs that I tell people, because I had that difficulty walking all over to get x-rayed and then go and seeing the doctor. Then I wrote a thank you letter to the sports medicine doctor, who always blows everything up as far as getting me in within hours of me calling, even though their secretary says you can come in next week. This doctor always gets me in the same day. Love this doctor. Anyway, get a sports medicine doctor on auto dial. That's right. See, and Calvin there, I know you don't have MS, you have CIDP. And I know that, but that's so similar to MS. So you talk about heavy legs. What can we do about heavy legs there, or weakness? So vertigo and dizziness is my worst symptom right now there. But I had heavy legs today, weak legs, and I couldn't seem to get over my toes today when I was walking through this MedStar, which is you go to the x-ray, go to the doctor, go all the way in the back, of course. And I knew when they were going to make an exception and see me today. I said to my husband, you know what, Timba, I know what's going to happen. I know they're going to do it during my 11 to 12 hour, your 11 to 12 hour show there. I knew that was going to happen. But then I heard all of your voices. Hi, Gabby. I heard all of your voices thinking, if I did a show and say I'm with you right now, instead of getting an x-ray or going and seeing the doctor and all, you'd all get mad at me. I know, because we're all in this together. All right, Uncle, that's Jimmy, Uncle Dummy. Hi, Jimmy. This is Jimmy. Jimmy's with us now, and I'm so glad. Jimmy talks about walking down a hilly road, a couple driving by and witness, and you know what? And they helped them. That is, Jimmy. Were you here when I was talking about? Hi, Mace. We've got Mace. Remember, you can watch it on YouTube, and you can participate in the chat there. I know we're chatting, on Facebook, but it's a different kind of chat. There's an interaction here now. I think I told you when this COVID started happening, I took my walker and I walked down to the end of the street, turned my walker against the woods and sat there, and I went butt over tea kettle. I fell backwards into the woods, and I laid there, and I made you laugh when we were talking a little bit about anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but remember, people were driving by. My neighbor drove by, looked at me, and he was so afraid of helping me that I'd infect him that I just had to laugh. I said, "Oh, that's great. It's great." I can't figure out, by the way. All right. because I can see my image. And again, you guys know that it's not about how you look, it's how you feel. And I got this wonderful compliment. And I think it's by you, Karen. It was how awesome I look. And I just got to tell you, beauty comes from inside. And if you feel loved, if you feel comforted and all because you have MS and all, and you're comforted for each other, I am blessed to be a blessing, to be used by God to help bring us all together there. So Karen, it's so nice to see you again. If you're on Facebook, if you go to YouTube and you subscribe, you'll get an email when this is live every Tuesday and Thursday, 11 to 12, unless, as Mace just said on Facebook, gravity happens. That's funny. That is funny stuff there. Because I just to catch up, I did break my hand. I have to go back and get a brace made because that hand, the fingertip is twisted in. It's a little. It's not so serious that they have to operate. Of course, I would not allow them to operate anyway because that would interfere with my pool, my swimming laps. But hi, Phil. Phil's over here. Oh, Phil. All right, Phil. I should sing a disco song for you, Phil. Phil is wonderful. You know, not as lucky as we are there that we have a reason to talk about stuff. He just is a great entertainer. I'm entertaining. God gave me MS so I could live with it for 34 years and use it to bring you together. Hi, Connie. So, all right, we're talking a little bit about dizziness there. Dizziness is one of the reasons why we use walkers to get around. Before that heavy legs there, I'm thinking I used a walker because I'd get so tired and I'd have to sit down. And early on when you have MS, you end up, if you'll go into a grocery store and you'll be fine, all of a sudden you have to sit. You have to sit and you find yourself sitting in lines or sitting, and it's more melodramatic. Doesn't have to be, right? You get a walker or rollator with the seat on it, then you can sit right there. So you get it because you have these bouts of unreasonable fatigue there, and it's so you have to have that there. Well, if as you progress, or say you have an attack of vertigo or dizziness, and there's a difference in Washington State, 1996. And Andrea, you would remember because I flew back for somebody's wedding, and I had vertigo. And I remember getting ready to, in SeaTac in Washington State, getting ready to get on the airplane. But I was sitting there, and I remember my whole world was going around like you're dizzy, like you're on. That's vertigo when everything is spinning. And here I am sitting, waiting for my the airplane to board, and I'm spinning. And there's this guy who was sitting on a chair next to me, and he's rocking back and forth. And I grabbed him because I was young. I had more guts then. Grabbed him and I said, "Listen, sir, I have vertigo. I have vertigo. My whole world is going like this. I can barely stand this. But when you add this to this, I'm going to throw up on you." So he stopped rocking back and forth there. Vertigo is a terrible thing. It can get. I know when I tried the biotin study, I tried to take let's see, 3 grams a day. That was the biotin study. Chris, thank God Chris is over here. So she jumped from Facebook to YouTube, which is great because you can chat and talk about what works for you. Chris talks about CBD oil and how it helps with her heavy legs. What helps with heavy legs? The HFAD, the hip flexor assisted device. If you will look, if you put in YouTube HFAD, you'll see my video where I'm demonstrating. I can't walk around the block or use my walker without tripping over my toe unless I'm using my HFAD. So that is a way to get over heavy legs. If your leg won't lift up there, what it does is you have two bungees on either side of your weak leg and then you get a zip tie or something to so you don't have to put on the end of it and slip over your sneaker. And when you step forward, right, what it does is the zip tie gets pulled up by the bungees and it pulls your leg up so you don't trip over your toe. Also on the back side there's a pad that will force your knee to bend, and that is really good. You can go for a nice long walk there. Jimmy, Jimmy's talking about taking Empira for walking. So let's take a survey, unofficial survey. How many people are convinced that Empira helps? So I want your opinion on Empira. There's also generic Empira there that doesn't have copay assistance, and I was too cheap. I was too cheap to take generic Empira because the real stuff was $10 and I thought it was working. But you know what? I discovered that off of generic Empira, if I use or regular Empira, if I use that hip flexor assisted device there, I can walk there. You know what? Jim just gave the generic form of Empira, dalfamenaprine there. All right, we're talking about foot drop, Mace. Foot drop, exactly. Foot drop, there was something, in fact, Judy has a video on my YouTube channel there. She has a video of the electronic foot drop. It stimulates that nerve down your tibia, and it helps it lift it up. They're very, very expensive, but if you go to a prosthetic place, there's a very, very good chance that they have one that you can try. What do they do for foot drop there, which is classic? People without MS can spot another person with MS from a mile away because of foot drop. Foot drop is a neurological situation that for some reason our foot doesn't stay up straight. All right, how do we treat foot drop? You can get an ankle foot orthotic, and they used to put you in a mold and create a hard plastic one. Now you can go and go to physical therapists, and they'll there's all sorts of metal, titanium, and there's stronger ones and weaker ones. So when you walk, it holds your foot at that 90-degree angle, which is necessary. You don't trip over your toe there. So that works. Oh, it really works if you don't have hip flexor failure, right? One of the symptoms of hip flexor failure and we have knee failure too, is we tend to walk with one leg straight. We lift up on our toe on our good leg, right? and then we circumvent, we swing that other foot around. Even if you have a if you have a AFO, if you are wearing an AFO there, you will do that. You tend to do that if you have a failing hip flexor. The hip flexor assisted device combats foot drop, knee lock, right? Because what happens is that we develop a habit of locking out our knee and that kind of rigidity, because that weaker knee has bent, has dropped us. The more that our bodies decide that it's not trustable, we've got a joint that is not trustable, it'll give out, the more we combat it by locking it out and not using that joint there. So it's really good to, if you use the hip flexor assisted device, look at that up, because I think it's out of pocket, like $200, and what you can do is send it and use it as a tax deduction. Call your doctor, not your doctor, your insurance company after the fact. Out of all the things I've got for MS, the hip flexor assisted device is something I have gone back to over and over and over again since I first started it there. Chris, let's see. You know what? And there's somebody else with MS that emailed me that told me that she gets incredible relief with not tripping over that toe when she wears sneakers that are one size larger. That is, I can't do it there. I can't do it. But all right. 03 Gabby, I don't know what that means. 03 NC B. All right, I think that's, oh, okay. Yeah, that we've got people sharing in there. So Empira, what is Empira? Empira is a medication that we use that has been approved for MS to help stimulate those muscles when we walk. How they discovered is farmers would use it to coat their fields, and birds would fly down and start eating it. And what it would do is it would overstimulate their electrical system, their nerves, so bad that they die. Well, so many great medications come from poisons. You know, digitalis is a nightshade that they discovered helps lower blood pressure, but it is a poison. And what they did is somebody was sitting there looking at those birds getting overstimulated and dying, and thought, well, you know what? I wonder if using just a little bit, people with MS, whether it would work. Well, they found that it worked for a number of people. But also, there's a careful balance. If you take more than that minimum amount every 24 or every 12 hours, if you take it quicker than that, if say you take it every 10 hours, you run the risk of having a seizure, right? That we've discovered that you run the risk of having a seizure. And that is scary. Once you have a seizure, you're because you have, why do you have a seizure? Because that medication used, or the medication developed from a poison that was on the farmer's field, now that kills these birds, overstimulates them. Now all of a sudden you've taken too much at a given amount, and it can overstimulate and cause a seizure. That's why they always ask you when you call, has it helped? A lot of insurance companies won't cover it unless every time you say, yeah, it's made me better. So that is what is to know with Empira there. What they tell you to do to make sure it's working is and run this by your doctor. Don't take anything I say as gospel, all right? Because I'm not a doctor there, and it's very important you know. So I'm not making claims. Everything I say is suggestions, or it is hi Sandy. It's suggestions there. So don't never take anything I say as gospel. That's how I got an email from somebody who had HSCT. She had progressive MS, and she said to me, "You're wrong. HSCT can be used for progressive MS." And I was thinking, I was thinking, I always, start from me. Where was I wrong? That's that. If I give you the impression that's wrong, take what I say about HSCT, that's stem cell therapy. Go to your doctor and do the research yourself. Again, if you have primary progressive MS and it has not affected you, uh, bring it up with your doctor. The HSCT, and you have $40,000 laying around, you can afford to go over to Russia and get this done. By all, these are considerations that only you can make. I can't make for you. So please don't email me or message me that I'm saying something I didn't. I didn't say that. Again, what did I say with stem cell? Is I said that you can, again, you can't have in the United States, as the Cleveland Clinic states, their prerequisites is you could never have been on Navantron. There's other things. There's other things that look at the last episode we did on Tuesday, and you'll know more about HSCT. Over here, Jimmy's talking about low dose naloxone. That is used if people find it gives them energy to walk, or more energy. They feel better. They're not in too much pain with MS, and it's a lot of people with MS actually swear by it. Naloxone, it's also known as LDN. All right, low dose naloxone actually is what it is, and it's important that you know that, because naloxone is a nasal thing that you can, if you have any narcotics prescribed there, pain clinics will give you this stuff, because naloxone, that's what counters the effects of narcotics. If somebody has had that fentanyl, or is OD'd, or is laying, in bad shape, they'll give you LD, or they'll give you naloxone to cancel out the effects of the narcotic, so you don't die. One of the things that they that I will tell you is that if you go to a pain specialist like I do, because I've got 34 years of being on interferons and different medications, the side effects kind of stuck with me there. So I've gone to my doctor. I've gone to a lot of people, and I've asked about medical marijuana. I've asked about LDN, and they will not allow me to even try LDN, because I have this chronic pain, and I take a very low dose narcotic every once in a while to combat that. Plus, the side effects with me is I tend to get a little bit more energy. It doesn't act with me. Narcotics don't act with me like it does with everybody else. Oh, I didn't know. All right. You know what, Gabby? Gabby is talking about the effect of milk. Uh, let's see, how much dairy products, cheese, and stuff. And I want to know a little bit about why you asked that question, Gabby. Why did you ask about dairy? Um, and yeah, so dairy, we've got that. We're talking about Jimmy. This is on YouTube, and it's a lively support there. Everybody's answering everybody's questions, and I'm just trying to read it out so that you on Facebook, you can get the benefit of everybody supporting each other with their own experiences. Alcohol was brought up. uh, um, you know what, and I've noticed, if I'm feeling really in pain and I have like a shot glass of red wine. I'm a red wine sucker. Of course I like beer too. All right. All right, I like alcohol. All right, but I don't drink it because my cerebral cortex behaves like I'm drunk anyway. uh, um, so drinking a little bit more alcohol on somebody who has symptoms of being drunk there makes it so much worse for me there. So you have to know that there. uh, and Gabby is and Jane are talking a little bit about dairy, and Karen now is talking about it over on YouTube, and they say that they cut it out of their diet because you guys cut it out of your diet because it's intolerant. It's amazing. Uh, it's you know what, it's amazing that you said that, because I had the allergy panel done, and it came back that I have a sensitivity to not alcohol. You know what? I'd be more clear if I was drinking right now. No, I have a sensitivity to dairy. There's a slight allergic reaction. The one thing about eating foods that makes us that we're a little sensitive to is it creates inflammation. We talked about diet last week, and specifically with MS, and inflammation is bad. Uh, um, Jane, Uncle Dummy's name is Jimmy. So just so you know, over here, there. So I know, I should be telling you that. And Chris, I added you to that list there. So, all right. Now, where? Hi, Garnet. You're back. Again, there's a lot of support over here in YouTube, on the YouTube group. On Facebook, again, it's it is. You know what? I'm having a splendid day now that you're on there. You'd laugh because typically 11 to 12 is when we do this MS live there, and I had to do 12 to 1 because I broke my hand. I have to go back for the splint there, and I only went this morning to the doctor to get x-rayed and all, because Garnet, you'd laugh, we had a screened in porch put onto the back of and I had to lay bricks for the patio. So Garnet, when you get a chance, or if you're ever in Bel Air, stop on by. We'll give you some lemonade, and love your opinion. Anyway, hi Kim Emerson. Kim is watching. Forgive me for using your last name there. uh, Gabby, Gabby talks about milk, ice cream, eggs, and all, but I'm interested in knowing there. A lot of us go without milk, and it helps us with inflammation. Um, So, and eggs, I have an egg on every single morning, free range egg there. So, what I want to know, hi, Heather. I graduated high school with Heather, and it's a blessing to see you here. Heather, I know that your sister has MS, so have her come on, and especially the YouTube is wonderfully as wonderful as Facebook is. You do these quick little messages, but if you can go to Dulci Hill on YouTube and subscribe, you will get an email when the MS Live is on, and you guys can chat over on the right of the screen and support each other more so than say on the Facebook there. Um, uh, so anyway, we're talking about vegan. Some people with MS do the vegan diet. They have discovered that again, our guts, we don't absorb nutrients like we should. It is that gut bacteria. We lack the good bacteria. Uh, Oh no, Kim talks about having a bad relapse. 5 days of steroids. Ugh, yuck. So no, Kim. All right. Any experience? What do we do when we have steroids? Solumedrol. You get the probiotics. Start, and everybody should be on probiotics in the world, because why should we be on probiotics? Because it these farmers treat they treat with different poisons to kill weeds and kill bugs, and it strips the nutrients out of the soil there. Way back when, people used to have be able to eat dirt there. So the point is that if you have MS, if you can be on, go to msfrontiers.org and look at supplements, and it talks about the best kind of probiotic there that you can be on, and it's with lots and lots of strains in that. You can help. Well, it will help the also. Yeah, Kim, I'm sorry you were. Yeah, Kim over here on Facebook, just so you guys know, on YouTube, she just was in the hospital. Ugh, bad time to be in the hospital, huh? Because she has had such a bad attack and 5 days of steroids. So just so you know, over here on Facebook, we're talking about the steroids right now, and I'll tell you, Kim, if you can go to the YouTube Dulci Hill channel, subscribe there, and get the email and look at the live going on, what's going on right now. It's blowing up, talking about what steroids does. Again, it upsets your stomach, upsets my stomach there. Let me see. I'm reading while I am trying to answer you. But how did you know this was a real attack, Kim, versus a phantom attack? How do you know the difference? What made you be convinced this was a phantom or a real attack? Early on, when I had MS, I would call the doctor all the time and say, "Oh, I'm having another attack." And it was often I was given Solumedrol or treated with steroids when it was actually a phantom attack. Phantom attacks go on because we may have just gotten over, let's see, our temperature may be elevated. We have a lot of symptoms, like old symptoms that we used to have, that are coming back. A real attack is different. All right, let's see. You know what it is, Kim? How we differentiate between a real attack and a phantom attack, so we don't overdo our bodies with steroids, is if you have a new disability symptom, if it's something you've never experienced before. Here's an example. Like mention, you're walking around, all of your symptoms, you've never had a problem with your eyes, and all of a sudden you go blind in one eye. And that's never happened before. That is a new symptom, and that means that they tend to do an MRI. That suggests you're having a MS attack. What my neurologist at at Johns Hopkins, what she does is that if there's new symptoms and I'm having, we suspect I'm having an attack, I get in the MRI machine right away. So to see if there's activity, she needs to see there needs to be activity in my brain and my spine before I'm treated with steroids there. Chris was, let me see, Gabby. Let's see. Okay. All right. New symptoms. What were your new symptoms, Kim? Kim's talking about having new symptoms. So it wasn't the old symptoms that just didn't go away. Again, remember when you have MS for a certain amount of time, then all of a sudden it's like me being on Gilenya. I was on Gilenya for so long, and I was taking that, and I had these symptoms. And I was getting progressively worse. Wasn't able to walk as well. I wasn't, just kind of feel yucky. No new big symptoms, but just getting a little worse. So what do we do with when we have MS? What's the most common mistake we make? All right, I'm going to answer that. But the most common mistake we with MS, is we call our doctor and we tell our doctor, my disease modifying medication is no longer working. I want to be on something else, right? And that is us dictating instead of calling our doctor with questions. And I suspect it's good. It's good to use open-ended words like or possibility that we might be wrong. I suspect my medication is not working. And we ask our doctors, how can we determine if the medication is working? And Kim is now explaining her attack. So I'm going to tell you guys on Facebook or on YouTube about the attack there. What they do is they put you in the MRI machine and see with the contrast to see if anything is alive, if anything's active. The contrast will show you if it's active there. Now, Kim talks about her new symptoms. Her right leg was causing her problem, and I suspect you say your right leg because Kim, your left leg is your typical weak leg there, and now all of a sudden you have right leg problems, and that's pretty scary. And her doctor did order an MRI, and she has lesions or disease activity in her brain and cervical spine. That what medication are you on, Kim? Hi, Tanya. Tanya was my friend in junior high, I guess. No, we were friends right before. That yeah. All right. All right. Kim is concurring with what I said, the way I described it there. So, what I wanted to say, so your doctor order it. What medication, Kim, are you taking? Disease modifying medication? Are you taking that didn't keep the disease at bay? This is really interesting. All right. Gabby says, All right. Gabby says there's a question over on YouTube. And Gabby said it was a great question. I'm trying to read what is the question that should be. You know what? Copaxone stopped working for me as well, Kim. I was on Copaxone for a long time. I know we talk over here. A number of people were on Copaxone for a long time there. Go to MS, Kim, go to msfrontiers.org and look at that main page. If you scroll down, you'll see the effectiveness of the medications. Write down a bunch of medications that you'd want to consider. When you go to the page, it tells you the medications that you may want to your doctor consider, right? Write that down and talk to your doctor about those medications. There, it shows how effective they are, the side effects there. So it is pretty critical that we are partners with our doctors. So wait, I have to close because I'm getting notifications. Okay, and I don't want that there. All right, what is a great question? Are spasms, all right, this is the question there. Are spasms a symptom of MS, or are they, when you have them, is it considered a relapse there? Spasms. Hi, Tanya. I think about that slumber party we had with you, me, and Cassie. Remember when we were young and yeah, those were the days. Anyway, spasms. Right, spasms that are controlled by baclofen. I call spasm Barbie girl for me, right? Because what happens when you sit too long and all of a sudden you stand up, right? That is a symptom of we lock out. That's how I broke my leg there. So Kim, chime in there. Do you feel like spasms are a symptom of a new attack? Or with MS, I'm going to answer what I believe it to be with me, and my never to be humble answer there, which I will tell you. Spasm to me is a symptom of MS there. We tend, if we don't take baclofen, our body spasms, you think of it as rigid, right? What happens? Our muscles fire on the same side. Say your bicep and tricep will fire at the exact same time, and the body results by its spasm, it locks out, right? If both of these muscles are firing at the same time, your body doesn't know what to do. Same thing. I have a video on spasticity. It's your quadriceps and your hamstrings. If that fires together, your leg tends to lock out. Is it a symptom of a new attack? It's a symptom of MS, but fortunately, it is not a symptom of a new attack. There, we are talking another thing, restless leg syndrome, which is very common. It is so common in people with MS, and I find I have more of a problem with that on my strong side, my right side, restless leg syndrome, because I spend the day doing lunges, lifting myself up on the toe, on my right toe, so I can walk on my left there, and that right leg gets so much exercise that the minute I sit down, it starts getting jerky. Jerky is, in the way I explain it, some people talk about a feeling of ants in their legs and they just have to shake the ants off every once in a while. With me, it feels the way I can equate it, a spring. If you have a spring compressed, completely compressed, and it's like it's holding down, and all of a sudden you can't hold it down anymore, and it just jerks the spring explodes there, and it is so miserable. Kim talks about how CBD oil works for that. I've discovered if using CBD oil as a topical, it does, but it doesn't last long enough for me. There's medication called ropinirole that you can call and talk to your doctor about, and you can take that. The only thing is that CBD oil is actually better because ropinirole, actually they'll prescribe you take it in small doses, but your body actually gets used to it, that medication slowly becomes inactive. So you know how after a while we just get used to taking the same medications. We don't even consider whether it's working or not. It's in your medications, right? You don't even think about it. So all right. So anyway, what were we talking about? Trying to stay focused there. Now Kim was talking about. All right. Now you're talking 20 milligrams 3 times a day, Kim. That's how much baclofen I take there. And now my question with you is you're taking that much baclofen, and that that baclofen is supposed to combat rigidity in your, it allows you to be defrosted is the way I like to describe it there. Uh, uh, and unfortunately, that's about the highest dose we can do before they put us in the baclofen pump. And I will tell you that they have discovered that a lot of us with MS, we like to use our rigidity, our instead of taking baclofen, our strength comes from our body locking out. So we don't do squats very well because rigid. They discovered that people who are really rigid tend to be weak. So we're supposed to do more exercises, which comes back to that heavy leg syndrome. I want to bring that around to, we were talking about that heavy legs. What is the best way to combat heavy legs? And believe it or not, that is to do lunges and squats and sit down on your couch and slowly stand up or slowly sit down. Uh, all right, Kim over here on Facebook wants to know: does anybody have a pump? Does have a baclofen pump there? And I will tell you that I've talked to so many people with MS that have the pump, and they love that. They love that pump. So that's what I have seen. More people love it there. I think that's what I have seen. But does anybody else over here uh, have the baclofen pump? Sherry, I know that you'll watch us later there because, and I tend to believe, I think I remember you saying that you had the baclofen pump there. A lot of people in wheelchairs do use the pump because they won't be completely rigid with that. Anyway, I hope that helped, Kim. I love that you're here with us. Kim is a local person from Bel Air, from where I live there, that has MS, and it's wonderful seeing you here. There, Kim, if you can go to msfrontiers.org and look at all the resources we have for you. Again, we're coming around towards to ending this chapter, this episode, and then I have to go back to the orthopedist, the hand specialist, and get a special splint made. They have to make it there because the break is right here. There. Remember I was showing you, and it hurts. It wakes me up when I sleep. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. But anyway, please subscribe. Go to msfrontiers.org and see the resources we have for you. Thank you, you trusty people who are always here supporting each other. That it's amazing how bringing up this stuff with MS there and helping each other it gives us more life there. Jane just did a shout out. Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers there, and I forgot. Ugh, I wonder if I've got time to put in the mail there. Uh, um, yeah, that's inside. This smoke and mirrors. If you watch YouTube enough and on how to put on makeup, anybody can be. Beauty comes from within us. There, I laugh. In fact, on YouTube, I look a lot better than I do on Facebook, but it doesn't matter. It's not about how I look. It's about how we all interact there. It really is there. And Gabby, I love seeing your face. Karen, or your name, and Jane. Jane, you are. Richard will watch this later, and I just think I don't even carry my list around. I didn't bring it to this because I know you guys. I feel like I know you there. So you know what? Kim. Um, Oh, I wish you know what? I have to go uh, to back over to MedStar and have my special brace made there. So Kim, if you could go to just go to YouTube. In fact, on your Google at the very top, Dulci Hill, Dulci, and you know how to spell my name because you just did Hill, and I will pop up everywhere. I'm all over the place. So and it'll show lots of videos. Go to there, subscribe to my channel, and then we'll do this YouTube live again on Tuesday there, and I have to do research, and we won't be talking again. I really like the format on Thursdays being mutual support and talking about symptoms there. So I think I like that. I know this past Tuesday, what happened is I was talking a bit about the research, too much, but not as much about you. I love you. Please subscribe. It's been an hour now, and thank you for dealing with my emergency situation, and I'm back to the doctors there. Anyway, I love you. Please subscribe and keep coming back. Bless you all. May God bless and comfort you. Thank you. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome to MS Live.